And now to talk more about the equinox and the flood disaster in Indonesia, we have in our studio Bapak Mulyono Rahadi Prabowo. He is the Deputy and Climatology Department from BMKG. Good afternoon, Pak. Thanks for being here.
Good afternoon.
Good. Can we just jump into the question, Tom? What is the equinox phenomenon? Can you explain it a little bit?
Yeah, the equinox phenomenon is the occurrence of the sun when it passes over the equator. And in a year, there will be two times when the sun passes over the equator. The first one is on the 21st of March, and then there will be one again on the 23rd of September. We know that the sun moves kind of having a pseudo movement from the southern hemisphere and then cross over the equator on the 21st of September and then going to the north up to the northern hemisphere summer solstice. It is on 21st of June and then come back to the moving southwards and then cross the equator on the 23rd of September. And then going to the southern part of hemisphere, it will be come to the southern hemisphere summer solstice on the 23rd, 23rd of December, and then going back to the equator. This always going on like that. So this is kind of the natural phenomenon because the sun always moving from the southern hemisphere over the equator and then going to the northern hemisphere and then coming back to the southern hemisphere.
And this happens yearly?
Yes, this happens yearly.
And what happens to a certain country or an area when we're faced with, let's say, the equinox phenomenon?
Basically, when the sun going over the equator, this is kind of the shortest distance between the sun to the earth. So consequently, the temperature will be going up in that area. But it will be very different because the surface of the earth are not always the same. Some part kind of continent and some ocean. And they will cause a different way to the air temperature. In continent area, they will give the shortest distance of the sun to the earth will cause kind of more higher temperature.
So it varies from each continent and each country's experience and different effects from the
yes, it will be different effect.
Phenomenon.
Yeah, it will be different effect causing the from the phenomenon. This one, we are here in the tropic area. In general, tropic area is more having water vapor.
Okay.
The water vapor has kind of function like a coolant. So in beside we have kind of the closest sun to the earth and cause the air temperature going up, but we have a lot of water vapor in the air, and it's functioning like the coolant. Somehow a bit suppressed the air temperature increase.
So we're not feeling so much heat. We're not feeling hot. Is that it?
No, in a tropical area,
we
not.
don't. Yeah.
But it will be different effect when the sun going to the north up to northern hemisphere summer solstice, because most of the mid latitude is a dry area, a dry weather area. So when the sun going to the north, to the northern hemisphere, and come to the northern hemisphere summer solstice, will give different impact. Yes, the consequence of having air temperature increase will be the same like at the tropic, but because of the mid latitude, most of them are kind of dry climate area. So the increase of the air temperature will be more prominent compared to the one.
Now, is there any significant difference between the phenomenon last year compared to this year?
Basically, there is no much difference between last year and this year. The thing is, it can be different for different year. Let's say in 2015, there was El Nino phenomenon. The El Nino phenomena caused the Indonesian area had less rainfall, so the water vapor was less, and then kind of the cooling
dry season, you would say,
the dry season is kind of longer, so the temperature a little bit higher compared to the one in 2016. In 2016 was La Nina phenomenon occurred, so Indonesia had more rainfall. Yeah, and this year, this kind of normal year, it means that the situation is kind of in between dry year 2015 and wet year in 2016.
So we're having both rainfall and also sunshine, you would say.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
All right, but how is this affecting us living in Jakarta right now? Are there any causes that could happen to us, significant causes or impact?
The impact, the general impact, we got kind of air temperature increase.
Okay.
Yeah, and the thing also that we have to consider is different area will have different impact.
Okay.
In some certain area, this more sunshine and sun heat will give impact for having more cloudy development. Yeah, and there was possibility of having heavy rain in that area.
Okay.
But in some area which has no enough water vapor, there won't be any cloud development, and the possibility of having rain less. As we noticed that some area of Indonesia, we are here in Jakarta as kind of dry situation, but in northern part of Sumatra, there was flood condition. There's kind of the local impact from getting close to the sun, we can say in 21st of March.
So it is the air temperature increasing that causes all the floods, and does that have anything to do with the floods as well?
Yeah, it caused the flood as well, but not directly, because this a lot of sun radiation as the energy of air vapor to be a cloud.
Okay.
And then when the cloud develop much, and they will give potential of having a high rainfall.
Do we need to take precautions during this phenomenon right now? Anything that we need to do, or just, you know?
Yeah, in general, the air temperature will increase, so dehydration situation will cause.
Okay.
So in terms of taking precaution, we may need to have kind of more water as the intake to the body, because somehow our body evaporate as well.
All right.
So we need to kind of compensate what and the body evaporate, and then.
Okay.
Right.
Now, how long is this equinox predicted to last again?
This is, in fact, the movement of the sun is kind of a gradual movement. Every 4 days, the sun will kind of shift 1 degree to the north, and then when the sun going to the south, every 4 days the sun will shift 1 degree to the south as well.
Okay.
So in fact, this situation, we can say has been started from at the beginning of March, but 21st of March kind of the maximum situation when the sun is the closest distance to the earth.
All right. Now, apart from equinox phenomenon, now what are we expecting to see in terms of weather for this year, though, or for the upcoming few months ahead?
Okay. In 2017, we predict that there will be not very dry season, but the dry season will be kind of start a bit late usually in March.
Yeah, in March starting to see the sun, which is not happening right now. Exactly.
Usually in March, dry season start already, but we predict that in April, May, the dry season.
That's when it will start. So we're still continuing to see rain right now, predicted until
somehow
April.
We still have a potential for the rain coming to our area.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Pa.
Thank you.
Thank you.